Tonight, we will be exploring one of the most fundamental yet mysterious aspects of human existence: sleep itself. That quiet surrender we make each night, that gentle descent into rest and dreams. Sleep is both ordinary and extraordinary, something we do every single day yet never fully understand. It is a journey we take alone, yet one shared by every living creature. From the moment we close our eyes to the deep rhythms of our dreaming minds, sleep is a world unto itself. If you enjoy these quiet explorations, I invite you to like and subscribe, or share a simple thought down in the comments. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. But for now, all you need to do is rest, settle in, and allow the gentle rhythms of sleep to carry you. Let us begin. The universal need for sleep. Every living creature with a brain needs sleep in some form. Sleep is not a human invention or a luxury of modern life. It is woven into the fabric of existence itself. From the tiniest fruit fly to the largest whale, every animal with a nervous system must rest. Even creatures we might think of as simple, organisms with basic brains, show clear patterns of rest and activity. Sleep appears to be so fundamental that evolution has preserved it across millions of years and countless species. Scientists have studied sleep in dolphins that rest one half of their brain at a time, in birds that can sleep while flying, and in insects that enter dormant states remarkably similar to mammalian sleep. The universality of sleep tells us something profound. It is not optional. Whatever sleep does for us, it must be essential enough that nature has made it unavoidable. Despite the vulnerability that comes with unconsciousness, despite the time it takes away from finding food or avoiding danger, sleep persists because life cannot exist without it. We spend a third of our lives asleep. If you live to be 90 years old, you will have spent roughly 30 years sleeping. That is a third of your entire existence devoted to this quiet state. At first, this might seem like lost time, hours and years when we could be doing something else. But sleep is not a void or an absence. It is an active, vital process that sustains everything else we do. Those 30 years are not wasted. They are invested, supporting the other 60 years of waking life. Without that third of our lives spent resting, the remaining 2/3 would crumble. Our memories would fade. Our bodies would break down. Our minds would lose their sharpness and balance. Sleep is the foundation upon which consciousness is built. Every moment of clarity, every burst of creativity, every act of kindness or courage we experience while awake is made possible by the hours we spend in darkness, breathing softly, dreaming quietly, healing continuously. Ancient humans slept differently than we do today. For most of human history, people did not sleep the way we do now. Before electric lights transformed the night into an extension of day, humans followed the natural rhythms of sunset and sunrise more closely. Historical records and studies of societies without electricity suggest that our ancestors often practiced what is called biphasic sleep, a pattern of sleeping in two distinct segments. They would sleep for several hours after dark, then wake naturally in the middle of the night for an hour or two. During this quiet interval, they might tend the fire, talk softly with family members, reflect on dreams, or simply rest peacefully in the darkness. Then they would return to sleep until dawn. This was not considered insomnia or a disorder. It was simply the natural rhythm of the human body when allowed to follow its own internal clock. Modern sleep, a single long stretch through the night, is partly a product of industrialization and artificial lighting. Our ancestors lived more slowly through the dark hours, allowing rest to unfold in its own time. There was no rush to achieve 8 continuous hours, no anxiety about waking in the night. Sleep was simply part of the rhythm of existence. As natural as the rising and setting of the sun, the body knows when to sleep through internal clocks. Deep within your brain, a tiny cluster of cells keeps time with remarkable precision. This is your circadian clock, a biological timekeeper that runs on roughly a 24-hour cycle. Even if you were placed in a cave with no sunlight, no clocks, and no external cues, your body would still maintain a rhythm close to one day in length. You would still feel sleepy and alert in predictable patterns. This internal clock is synchronized to the outside world, primarily through light. When sunlight enters your eyes in the morning, it sends signals to your brain's master clock, helping it stay aligned with the actual day. As darkness falls, different signals trigger the release of melatonin, a hormone that makes you feel drowsy. This is not a conscious choice. Your body is responding to ancient rhythms, preparing you for sleep just as it has prepared countless generations before you. The circadian clock governs more than just sleep. It influences body temperature, hormone release, digestion, and even the way your immune system functions. It is a conductor orchestrating the symphony of processes that keep you alive. When you honor this rhythm by sleeping at consistent times and exposing yourself to natural light, your body works in harmony. When you fight it with irregular schedules and late-night screens, you create discord that echoes through every system. Melatonin rises naturally as darkness falls. As the sun sets and evening deepens, your brain begins to produce melatonin. This hormone, sometimes called the darkness hormone, is synthesized in the pineal gland, a small structure deep within your brain. Melatonin does not force you to sleep, but it opens the door, making sleep possible by lowering your body's alertness and signaling that night has arrived. Melatonin levels begin to rise about 2 hours before your usual bedtime, reaching their peak in the middle of the night. As dawn approaches, production drops off, allowing you to wake naturally. This nightly surge of melatonin is your body's way of preparing for rest, coordinating with your circadian rhythm to create the perfect conditions for sleep. Modern life disrupts this delicate process. Bright lights, especially the blue light emitted by screens, can suppress melatonin production, tricking your brain into thinking it is still daytime. This is why staring at your phone or computer late at night can make it harder to fall asleep. Your body is waiting for the signal of darkness, but the signal never comes. By dimming lights in the evening and reducing screen time before bed, you allow melatonin to rise naturally, inviting sleep to arrive on its own gentle schedule. Your body temperature drops to initiate sleep. One of the first changes your body makes as it prepares for sleep is a drop in core temperature. This decrease, though subtle, is essential for falling asleep. Your body temperature naturally fluctuates throughout the day, peaking in the late afternoon and reaching its lowest point in the early morning hours, just before dawn. This decline in temperature is not a consequence of sleep, it is a trigger. When your core temperature begins to fall, it signals to your brain that the time for sleep is approaching. This is why a cool bedroom, around 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, is often ideal for sleep. A room that is too warm can interfere with this natural temperature drop, making it harder to drift off. Conversely, taking a warm bath or shower before bed can, paradoxically, help you sleep better. When you step out of the warmth, your body temperature drops rapidly, mimicking the natural decline that promotes sleep. Throughout the night, your temperature continues to fall, reaching its lowest point in the hours before dawn. As morning approaches, your temperature begins to rise again, preparing your body for wakefulness. This rhythmic fluctuation is another aspect of the circadian clock, a quiet oscillation that helps guide you through the cycle of sleep and waking. Sleep occurs in repeating cycles throughout the night. Sleep is not a single uniform state. It is a dynamic process that unfolds in cycles, each lasting about 90 minutes. Over the course of a full night, you will pass through 4 to 6 of these cycles, each containing distinct stages of sleep. Understanding these cycles reveals the complexity and beauty of what happens while you rest. Each cycle begins with light sleep, deepens into slow wave sleep, and then transitions into rapid eye movement sleep, or REM sleep, where most dreaming occurs. As the night progresses, the composition of these cycles changes. Early in the night, you spend more time in deep, slow wave sleep, the most restorative stage. Later cycles contain longer periods of REM sleep, the stage associated with vivid dreams and emotional processing. This cycling is not random. It reflects the different tasks your brain and body need to accomplish during the night. Deep sleep supports physical restoration and memory consolidation. REM sleep processes emotions and strengthens neural connections. By moving through these stages multiple times, your body ensures that all the essential work of sleep gets done. Waking briefly between cycles is normal and natural. Most people do not remember these brief awakenings, slipping easily back into the next cycle. The first stage of sleep is a gentle transition. The journey into sleep begins with stage 1, the lightest form of sleep. This is the threshold between waking and sleeping, a brief transitional phase that usually lasts only a few minutes. Your muscles begin to relax, your breathing slows, and your brainwaves shift from the rapid patterns of wakefulness to slower, more rhythmic waves, called theta waves. During stage 1, you may experience sudden muscle twitches, sometimes called hypnic jerks. These are completely normal and harmless, a quirk of the nervous system as it transitions from waking to sleeping. You may also experience fragmented thoughts or fleeting images, the mind beginning to let go of conscious control. It is easy to wake someone from stage 1 sleep. They may not even realize they were asleep at all. This stage is brief but necessary, a gentle introduction to the deeper stages that follow. It is the moment when you release your grip on the day, when thoughts begin to drift and dissolve, when the boundary between waking and sleeping becomes soft and permeable. Stage 1 is the doorway, and you pass through it every night, often without noticing, as sleep reaches out to welcome you. Stage 2, sleep occupies half of the night. After the brief transition of stage 1, you enter stage 2 sleep, a deeper but still relatively light form of rest. Stage 2 accounts for nearly half of your total sleep time, making it the most common stage you experience throughout the night. During this stage, your heart rate slows further, your body temperature continues to drop, and your brain produces distinctive patterns called sleep spindles and K complexes. Sleep spindles are brief bursts of rapid brain activity that appear on an EEG, the machine that measures brain waves. Scientists believe these spindles play a role in memory consolidation, helping to transfer information from short-term storage to long-term memory. K complexes are sudden, sharp waveforms that may help suppress external stimuli, keeping you asleep despite noises or other disturbances. Stage 2, sleep is restorative, though not as deeply so as the stages that follow. It is a middle ground, deeper than the light dozing of stage 1, but not yet the profound unconsciousness of deep sleep. During stage 2, your body continues the work of rest, repairing tissues, consolidating memories, and preparing for the deeper restoration to come. You cycle through this stage multiple times each night, spending more time here than in any other single stage. Deep sleep restores the body and mind. The third stage of sleep is deep sleep, also known as slow wave sleep. This is the most restorative stage, the time when your body does its most intensive repair work. During deep sleep, your brain produces slow, powerful delta waves, a rhythm so different from waking consciousness that someone in deep sleep is difficult to rouse. If woken from this stage, you may feel disoriented and groggy, as though pulled from somewhere very far away. Deep sleep is when growth hormone is released, supporting the repair of muscles and tissues. Your immune system strengthens, fighting off infections and inflammation. Waste products are cleared from the brain through the glymphatic system, a cleansing process that only occurs efficiently during sleep. Memories are consolidated, especially factual information and motor skills. Deep sleep is the foundation of feeling rested. Without enough of it, you wake feeling unrefreshed, even if you slept for many hours. You spend the most time in deep sleep during the first half of the night. As the night progresses, deep sleep periods become shorter and less frequent, giving way to longer stretches of REM sleep. This shifting balance reflects the different needs your body has as the night unfolds. Early on, physical restoration takes priority. Later, emotional and cognitive processing come to the forefront. REM sleep is when most vivid dreams occur. After cycling through the lighter stages and deep sleep, you enter REM sleep, a stage unlike any other. REM stands for rapid eye movement, named for the quick, darting motions your eyes make beneath closed lids. During this stage, your brain becomes almost as active as when you are awake, yet your body remains deeply relaxed, almost paralyzed. This paralysis is a protective mechanism, preventing you from acting out your dreams. REM sleep is the realm of vivid, narrative dreams. While dreams can occur in other stages, the most elaborate and emotionally rich dreams happen during REM. Your brain processes emotions, integrates experiences, and makes connections between seemingly unrelated ideas. Some scientists believe REM sleep supports creativity and problem-solving, allowing the mind to explore possibilities without the constraints of logic and reason. The first REM period of the night is brief, lasting only a few minutes. But as the night progresses, REM periods grow longer. The final REM cycle of the night, just before waking, can last 30 minutes or more. This is why dreams are often most memorable in the early morning. You are more likely to wake directly from REM sleep, carrying the dream into waking consciousness before it fades. Dreams have fascinated humans throughout history. Since the earliest records of human thought, dreams have held a special place in culture and consciousness. Ancient Egyptians believed dreams were messages from the gods, omens that could predict the future or offer divine guidance. The Greeks built temples where people would sleep in hopes of receiving healing dreams. Indigenous cultures around the world have long practiced dream interpretation, seeing dreams as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. Sigmund Freud famously called dreams the royal road to the unconscious, believing they revealed hidden desires and repressed emotions. Carl Jung saw them as expressions of the collective unconscious, filled with archetypal symbols shared across humanity. Modern neuroscience offers a different perspective, suggesting dreams are the brain's way of processing information, consolidating memories, and regulating emotions. Despite centuries of fascination and study, dreams remain mysterious. We still do not fully understand why we dream, or what purpose dreams serve. Some theories suggest they help us rehearse responses to threats, process emotional experiences, or simply clear out unnecessary neural connections. What we do know is that dreaming is universal. Every culture dreams. Every person dreams, even those who do not remember their dreams. Dreaming is as fundamental to sleep as breathing is to life. Most dreams are forgotten within minutes of waking. You dream multiple times each night, cycling through REM sleep several times before morning. Yet most people remember only a handful of dreams over the course of their lives, if that. This is not because dreams are unimportant or meaningless. It is because the brain that dreams is different from the brain that remembers. During REM sleep, the neurochemical environment of your brain changes. The prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic, self-awareness, and memory encoding, becomes less active. Meanwhile, the emotional and visual centers light up, creating the vivid, often illogical experiences we call dreams. When you wake, the transition back to waking consciousness often erases the dream before it can be transferred to long-term memory. If you want to remember your dreams, the key is to wake gently and reflect on them immediately, before moving or fully engaging with the day. Keeping a dream journal by your bedside can help. The act of writing down even fragments of a dream can strengthen the memory, making it more likely to stay with you. But for most people, dreams slip away like water through fingers, leaving only a vague sense of having been somewhere, of having experienced something just beyond the edge of recall. Not everyone remembers their dreams clearly. Some people wake each morning with vivid recollections of elaborate dream narratives, while others insist they never dream at all. This variation is normal. Everyone dreams, but not everyone remembers. The difference lies partly in how and when you wake. If you wake naturally from REM sleep, you are more likely to recall your dreams. If you wake abruptly from a deeper stage, the dream may vanish instantly. Personality and lifestyle also play a role. People who are more introspective or who practice mindfulness may remember dreams more often. Those who wake frequently during the night have more opportunities to capture dreams before they fade. Stress, medications, and sleep disorders can all affect dream recall as well. Some antidepressants, for example, suppress REM sleep, reducing the intensity and frequency of dreams. The content of dreams varies widely too. Some are mundane, replaying events from the day or concerns from waking life. Others are bizarre and surreal, blending impossible scenarios with intense emotions. Nightmares are simply dreams with frightening or distressing content, more common during times of stress or trauma. Despite their variety, all dreams share a common origin: the sleeping brain, weaving together memory, emotion, and imagination into the strange tapestry of the dreaming mind. Sleep clears waste from the brain through special channels. One of the most remarkable discoveries in sleep science is the glymphatic system, a waste clearance pathway that operates primarily during sleep. Throughout the day, your brain accumulates metabolic waste products, the cellular debris left over from the constant activity of thinking, sensing, and moving. If this waste is not cleared, it can build up and potentially contribute to neurodegenerative diseases. During sleep, especially deep sleep, the glymphatic system activates. Cerebrospinal fluid flows through channels in the brain, flushing out waste products and carrying them away to be eliminated from the body. This process is highly efficient during sleep because brain cells actually shrink slightly, creating more space for the fluid to flow. When you are awake, this clearance system is much less active. This discovery helps explain why chronic sleep deprivation is linked to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. One of the waste products cleared by the glymphatic system is beta amyloid, a protein that accumulates in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. Without sufficient sleep, this protein may build up over time, contributing to cognitive decline. Sleep is not just rest. It is a cleansing process, a nightly maintenance routine that keeps the brain healthy. Memory consolidation happens most effectively during sleep. Learning something new is only the first step. For that information to stick, to become part of your long-term memory, it must be consolidated. This process of strengthening and organizing memories happens primarily during sleep. While you rest, your brain replays experiences from the day, strengthening the neural connections that encode those memories. Different types of memories are consolidated during different stages of sleep. Factual information, such as vocabulary words or historical dates, is strengthened during deep, slow-wave sleep. Motor skills, like playing an instrument or shooting a basketball, are refined during stage 2 sleep. Emotional memories and complex problem-solving benefit from REM sleep, where the brain integrates information in creative and unexpected ways. This is why students often perform better on tests after a good night's sleep. It is also why pulling an all-nighter to cram for an exam is counterproductive. Without sleep, the information you tried to learn remains fragile, easily forgotten. Sleep does not just help you rest, it helps you remember, transforming fleeting experiences into lasting knowledge. Sleep deprivation impairs judgment and reaction time. When you do not get enough sleep, the effects go far beyond feeling tired. Sleep deprivation impairs your cognitive abilities in ways that are both subtle and profound. Your reaction time slows, making it harder to respond quickly to unexpected situations. Your attention wavers, and you become more easily distracted. Decision-making suffers, as the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center, struggles to function without adequate rest. Studies have shown that staying awake for 24 hours impairs your performance as much as having a blood alcohol content of 0.1%, well above the legal limit for driving. Yet people who are sleep-deprived often do not realize how impaired they are. They may feel alert enough, unaware that their judgment and coordination are compromised. This is why drowsy driving is so dangerous. It feels manageable until it is too late. Chronic sleep deprivation accumulates over time, creating what researchers call sleep debt. Missing an hour or two of sleep each night may not seem significant, but over weeks and months, the effects compound. Memory problems, mood disturbances, weakened immunity, and increased risk of accidents all result from insufficient sleep. The only way to recover is to prioritize rest, allowing your body and brain the time they need to restore balance. The immune system strengthens during sleep. Sleep and the immune system are deeply interconnected. During sleep, your body produces and releases cytokines, proteins that help fight infection and inflammation. Some of these cytokines also promote sleep, creating a feedback loop. When you are sick, you feel sleepy because your immune system is calling for rest, knowing that sleep will help it function more effectively. Research has shown that people who do not get enough sleep are more susceptible to infections. In one study, participants who slept less than 7 hours a night were nearly 3 times more likely to develop a cold after being exposed to the virus than those who slept 8 hours or more. Sleep deprivation weakens the immune response, making it harder for your body to defend itself against pathogens. Vaccines also work better when you are well rested. Studies have found that people who get adequate sleep after receiving a vaccine develop stronger antibody responses than those who are sleep deprived. This makes sense. If your immune system is already struggling due to lack of sleep, it has fewer resources to devote to building immunity. Sleep is not just a passive state, it is an active process of healing and defense. Growth and repair occur most during deep sleep. While you sleep, your body is hard at work repairing itself. Tissues damaged during the day are mended, muscles grow stronger, bones rebuild. Much of this repair work happens during deep, slow-wave sleep, when growth hormone is released in pulses. This hormone stimulates cell reproduction and regeneration, supporting everything from wound healing to muscle development. Children and teenagers spend more time in deep sleep than adults, reflecting their body's greater need for growth. As we age, the amount of deep sleep we get naturally decreases, which may contribute to the slower healing and reduced resilience that come with aging. But even in adulthood, deep sleep remains essential for maintaining physical health. Athletes and people recovering from injuries benefit especially from prioritizing sleep. Without adequate rest, the body cannot repair the microtears in muscles that occur during exercise, limiting strength gains and increasing the risk of injury. Sleep is when the work you did during the day is translated into actual physical improvement. Rest is not the opposite of work. It is the necessary complement to it. Sleep affects hunger and metabolism. Sleep does not just affect your brain and immune system. It also influences your metabolism and appetite. When you do not get enough sleep, two hormones that regulate hunger become imbalanced. Ghrelin, the hormone that signals hunger, increases. Leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, decreases. The result is that you feel hungrier and less satisfied after eating. Sleep deprivation also makes you crave high-calorie, high-carbohydrate foods. This is partly because your brain, deprived of the energy it normally gets from rest, seeks quick fuel. It is also because the prefrontal cortex, which helps regulate impulses and make healthy choices, is impaired when you are tired. Resisting the temptation of unhealthy foods becomes much harder. Over time, chronic sleep deprivation can contribute to weight gain and increase the risk of metabolic disorders like type 2 diabetes. The connection between sleep and metabolism is so strong that some researchers consider insufficient sleep a risk factor for obesity. By prioritizing sleep, you are not just resting your mind and body, you are supporting healthy eating habits and metabolic balance. Emotional regulation depends on adequate sleep. Sleep plays a crucial role in how you process and regulate emotions. The amygdala, the brain's emotional center, becomes more reactive when you are sleep deprived. Small frustrations feel overwhelming. Neutral situations are interpreted as threatening. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, which helps regulate emotional responses, becomes less effective at keeping the amygdala in check. This is why everything feels harder when you are tired. A minor inconvenience can trigger disproportionate anger or sadness. Relationships suffer as patience wears thin and communication breaks down. People who are chronically sleep deprived are at higher risk for mood disorders, including depression and anxiety. Sleep does not just support your mood, it is foundational to emotional health. REM sleep, in particular, helps process emotional experiences. During this stage, the brain revisits emotionally charged memories and integrates them in a way that reduces their emotional intensity. This is sometimes called overnight therapy, the idea that sleep helps you metabolize difficult emotions. While you cannot solve all your problems by sleeping, you can wake with a clearer, calmer perspective, better equipped to face whatever the day brings. Sleep needs change across the lifespan. The amount of sleep you need varies throughout your life, reflecting the changing demands on your body and brain. Newborn babies sleep 16 to 18 hours a day, waking only to feed. This extensive sleep supports the explosive brain growth and development happening in the first months of life. Their sleep cycles are shorter than adults, lasting about 50 minutes instead of 90. As children grow, their sleep needs gradually decrease, but remain higher than adults. Preschoolers need 11 to 13 hours, while school-age children need 10 to 11 hours. Teenagers, despite their reputation for sleeping late, actually need 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and their circadian rhythms naturally shift later. This is why early school start times can be so challenging for adolescents. Their bodies are programmed to fall asleep later and wake later than adults. Adults generally need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, though individual variation exists. Some people function well on slightly less, while others need more. As we age into our 60s and beyond, sleep architecture changes. Older adults spend less time in deep sleep and wake more frequently during the night, though their total sleep need remains similar. These changes are normal, part of the aging process, though they can make sleep feel less restorative. Infants spend half their sleep in REM. Newborn babies spend about 50% of their sleep time in REM sleep, compared to about 20 to 25% in adults. This high proportion of REM sleep is thought to support the rapid brain development occurring in infancy. During REM, the brain forms and strengthens neural connections, building the architecture that will support learning, language, and thought throughout life. Infant sleep is markedly different from adult sleep in other ways too. Babies enter REM sleep almost immediately after falling asleep, rather than cycling through the lighter stages first. Their sleep cycles are shorter, and they wake more frequently. This is partly because their small stomachs need frequent feeding, but it also reflects the immaturity of their sleep systems. The brain circuits that regulate sleep continue developing throughout the first years of life. Parents often struggle with fragmented sleep during this period, waking multiple times a night to care for their baby. This is exhausting, but temporary. As babies grow and their sleep systems mature, they gradually consolidate their sleep into longer nighttime periods and shorter daytime naps. By around 6 months, many babies can sleep for longer stretches. Though there is wide variation, every baby develops at their own pace, and sleep is no exception. Teenagers experience a natural shift in sleep timing. During puberty, something interesting happens to the circadian clock. It shifts later, a phenomenon called sleep phase delay. Teenagers naturally feel alert later into the evening and struggle to wake early in the morning. This is not laziness or defiance, it is biology. The same hormonal changes that drive physical maturation also shift the timing of the internal clock. Melatonin production in teenagers begins later in the evening than in children or adults, making it difficult to fall asleep before 11 p.m. or midnight. Yet most schools start early, requiring teens to wake at 6 or 7 a.m. The result is chronic sleep deprivation during a crucial period of development. Teenagers need 8 to 10 hours of sleep, but many get far less. This mismatch between biological needs and social demands has real consequences. Sleep-deprived teenagers struggle with mood regulation, attention, and learning. They are at higher risk for depression, anxiety, and accidents. Some schools have responded by starting later, recognizing that aligning education with adolescent biology improves outcomes. Allowing teenagers to follow their natural sleep rhythms benefits not just their health, but their academic performance and emotional well-being. Older adults sleep more lightly and wake more often. As we age, sleep changes in ways that can be frustrating. Older adults spend less time in deep, slow wave sleep and more time in the lighter stages. They wake more frequently during the night, sometimes multiple times, and may find it harder to fall back asleep. Early morning waking becomes more common. The total amount of sleep may decrease slightly, though the need for rest does not disappear. These changes reflect both normal aging of the brain's sleep systems and other factors that often accompany aging. Chronic health conditions, pain, medications, and changes in activity level can all affect sleep. Older adults are also more likely to experience sleep disorders like sleep apnea or restless leg syndrome. The reduction in deep sleep may contribute to the memory difficulties and slower cognitive processing that some older adults experience. Despite these challenges, sleep remains important throughout life. Older adults who prioritize good sleep habits, maintain regular schedules, stay physically active, and address underlying health issues can still experience restorative rest. Sleep may become more fragile with age, but it does not lose its essential role. The body and brain continue to need that nightly renewal, that quiet time of repair and restoration. Some animals sleep while half their brain stays awake. The way humans sleep, both hemispheres of the brain resting simultaneously, is not the only strategy in nature. Some animals have evolved remarkable adaptations that allow them to sleep while remaining partly alert. Dolphins, seals, and many species of birds practice unihemispheric sleep, where one half of the brain sleeps while the other stays awake. This allows dolphins to continue swimming and surface to breathe while sleeping. One eye closes while the other remains open, the closed side corresponding to the sleeping hemisphere. Every few hours, the sides switch, giving each hemisphere a chance to rest. This adaptation is essential for marine mammals that must consciously breathe. If both hemispheres slept at once, they might drown. Migratory birds use a similar strategy during long flights. They can sleep with one hemisphere while the other keeps them flying in formation. Frigate birds, which can fly for weeks without landing, take brief naps while soaring over the ocean. These glimpses into animal sleep remind us that rest is so essential that evolution has found creative ways to preserve it, even in environments where shutting down completely would be dangerous. Some creatures hibernate for months at a time. Hibernation is an extreme form of rest, a state of drastically reduced metabolism that allows animals to survive harsh winters when food is scarce. Bears, ground squirrels, bats, and many other species enter hibernation, lowering their body temperature, heart rate, and breathing to minimal levels. A hibernating ground squirrel's heart may beat only a few times per minute, and its body temperature can drop close to freezing. During hibernation, animals are not truly asleep in the way we understand sleep. They are in a state of torpor, a deeper, more profound suspension of activity. Their brains show different patterns than sleeping brains, and they do not cycle through the normal stages of sleep. Yet, hibernation serves a similar purpose, conserving energy and surviving periods when survival would otherwise be impossible. Interestingly, hibernating animals periodically wake and enter true sleep for short periods. Scientists believe this is necessary because even hibernation cannot replace the essential functions of sleep. The brain needs those cycles of REM and slow-wave sleep to maintain itself. This suggests that sleep is so fundamental that even animals in hibernation must pause their torpor to experience it briefly before returning to their deep winter rest. Sleep in space presents unique challenges. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station experience 16 sunrises and sunsets every 24 hours as the station orbits Earth. This rapid cycling of light and dark disrupts the circadian rhythms that normally guide sleep. Without the natural cues of a single day-night cycle, the body's internal clock struggles to maintain its rhythm. Astronauts also sleep in microgravity, floating inside sleeping bags tethered to the walls. There is no sensation of lying down, no weight pressing into a mattress. Some find this disorienting, while others adapt quickly. The lack of gravity can also cause fluid shifts in the body, leading to nasal congestion and a sensation of fullness in the head, which can interfere with sleep. To help astronauts sleep, the space station has adjustable lighting designed to mimic the natural progression of daylight, with brighter blue-enriched light during the workday and dimmer, warmer light in the evening. Astronauts are encouraged to maintain regular sleep schedules and given time for exercise, which supports better sleep. Despite these efforts, many astronauts report sleeping fewer hours and less deeply in space than they do on Earth, a reminder of how deeply our sleep systems are tied to the environment we evolved in. Sleep paralysis is a natural protective mechanism. During REM sleep, when vivid dreams occur, your body enters a state of temporary paralysis. This is called REM atonia, and it prevents you from physically acting out your dreams. Without this protective mechanism, you might thrash, punch, or kick in response to dream events, potentially injuring yourself or others. The paralysis is so complete that only the muscles controlling eye movement and breathing remain active. Usually, you transition smoothly in and out of this paralysis without awareness. But sometimes, people wake up while the paralysis is still in effect. This is called sleep paralysis, and it can be frightening. You are conscious and aware, but unable to move or speak. The experience often lasts only a few seconds to a couple of minutes, though it can feel much longer. Some people also experience hallucinations during sleep paralysis, seeing or sensing a presence in the room. Sleep paralysis is harmless, though unsettling. It is more common when you are sleep deprived, sleeping on your back, or experiencing disrupted sleep schedules. Throughout history, sleep paralysis has been explained in cultural terms: demons sitting on the chest, alien abductions, or supernatural encounters. Understanding it as a natural, if mistimed aspect of sleep can reduce the fear. Knowing that you will regain movement in moments can help you stay calm until it passes. Sleepwalking occurs during deep non-REM sleep. Sleepwalking, or somnambulism, happens during deep, slow-wave sleep, not during the dreaming stage of REM. Sleepwalkers are not acting out dreams. They are in a state of partial arousal, where the brain is caught between sleep and wakefulness. The parts of the brain responsible for movement are active, but the parts responsible for awareness and judgment remain asleep. Sleepwalkers can perform surprisingly complex behaviors, from sitting up in bed to walking around the house, sometimes even leaving the building. Their eyes are usually open, and they may appear awake, but they are not fully conscious. If spoken to, they may respond in garbled or nonsensical ways. They typically have no memory of the episode upon waking. Sleepwalking is most common in children, and usually decreases with age as the brain matures. It can be triggered by sleep deprivation, stress, fever, or certain medications. While sleepwalking is generally harmless, it can pose safety risks. Falls, injuries, or wandering into dangerous situations are possible. Creating a safe sleep environment, keeping the bedroom door locked or alarmed, and addressing underlying sleep issues can help manage sleepwalking. Contrary to popular belief, it is not dangerous to wake a sleepwalker, though they may be confused or disoriented. Sleep talking is usually harmless and meaningless. Many people talk in their sleep, uttering words, phrases, or even full conversations while unconscious. Sleep talking, or somniloquy, can occur during any stage of sleep, though it is most common during the lighter stages and REM sleep. The content is usually random, fragmented, and unrelated to the person's thoughts or feelings. Despite how clear the words may sound, they rarely reveal secrets or reflect true beliefs. Sleep talking can range from mumbling to loud exclamations. Some people speak clearly, while others produce only sounds or gibberish. It is more common in children and tends to decrease with age, though adults can be frequent sleep talkers too. Stress, sleep deprivation, fever, and certain medications can increase the likelihood of sleep talking. For the sleeper, it is entirely harmless. They do not remember it and experience no ill effects. For bed partners, it can be amusing or occasionally disruptive, especially if the sleep talking is loud or frequent. There is no treatment needed for sleep talking, as it is a benign phenomenon. If it becomes disruptive, addressing overall sleep quality and reducing stress can sometimes help reduce its occurrence. Night terrors are different from nightmares. Night terrors and nightmares are often confused, but they are distinct experiences. Nightmares are frightening dreams that occur during REM sleep. You wake from a nightmare with clear recall of the dream and its scary content. You feel afraid, but you are aware and can be comforted. Night terrors, by contrast, occur during deep non-REM sleep. They are episodes of intense fear and agitation, where the person may scream, thrash, or appear terrified, but they are not awake. Their eyes may be open, and they may sit up or even get out of bed, but they are not conscious. They do not recognize parents or caregivers who try to comfort them. After a few minutes, the terror subsides, and the person returns to sleep, usually with no memory of the event in the morning. Night terrors are most common in young children and typically outgrow by adolescence. They are thought to be partial arousals from deep sleep, when the brain is transitioning between sleep stages. They can be triggered by sleep deprivation, stress, or disrupted sleep schedules. While night terrors are distressing for parents to witness, they are not harmful to the child, who remains asleep and unaware. The best approach is to ensure safety, wait for the episode to pass, and work on improving overall sleep quality. Lucid dreams allow awareness within the dream. Most dreams feel real while they are happening. You accept the bizarre logic of the dream world without question. But some people experience lucid dreams, where they become aware that they are dreaming while the dream is still unfolding. This awareness can range from a fleeting realization to full control over the dream narrative. Lucid dreamers can sometimes direct their dreams, choosing where to go or what to do. Some use lucid dreaming to overcome nightmares, confronting fears within the safety of the dream. Others enjoy it as a form of creativity or exploration, experiencing things impossible in waking life. Lucid dreaming occurs most often during REM sleep, the stage rich with vivid dreams. While some people experience lucid dreams naturally, others can learn to induce them through techniques like reality testing, keeping a dream journal, or practicing meditation. Sleep scientists study lucid dreaming to understand consciousness and the nature of awareness. The fact that we can be conscious within unconsciousness, aware of our own mental state while asleep, reveals the complexity and flexibility of the human mind. The tuan of a comfortable bed affects sleep quality. The surface you sleep on matters more than you might think. A comfortable, supportive mattress and pillows can significantly improve sleep quality, while an uncomfortable bed can lead to tossing, turning, and waking with aches. The ideal mattress provides support for your spine, keeping it aligned regardless of your sleeping position, while also cushioning pressure points like shoulders and hips. Mattress preferences are individual. Some people sleep best on firm surfaces, while others prefer softer ones. Side sleepers often need more cushioning to support the shoulders and hips, while back and stomach sleepers may benefit from firmer support. Pillows should support the natural curve of your neck, keeping your head aligned with your spine. Beyond physical comfort, the psychological association between your bed and sleep matters too. If you use your bed for activities other than sleep, like working or watching television, your brain may begin to associate the bed with alertness rather than rest. Sleep experts recommend reserving your bed for sleep and intimacy only, helping to strengthen the mental connection between lying down and falling asleep. Your bed should be a sanctuary, a place your body recognizes as the site of rest. Room temperature influences sleep, onset, and quality. The temperature of your bedroom plays a crucial role in how easily you fall asleep and how well you stay asleep. As discussed earlier, your core body temperature naturally drops as you prepare for sleep. A cool room facilitates this decline, signaling to your body that it is time to rest. Most sleep experts recommend a bedroom temperature between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, though individual preferences vary. A room that is too warm can interfere with the body's temperature regulation, making it harder to fall asleep and disrupting sleep throughout the night. You may find yourself kicking off covers, waking up sweaty, or feeling restless. Overheating is particularly disruptive to REM sleep, the stage where the body's temperature regulation is less effective. Conversely, a room that is too cold can also disturb sleep, though this is less common. If you are shivering or uncomfortable, your sleep will be fragmented. The key is finding a temperature that feels cool and comfortable, one that allows your body to maintain its natural temperature rhythm without needing to work too hard. Adjusting your thermostat, using breathable bedding, and even taking a warm bath before bed to trigger a rapid cool-down can all support better sleep. Darkness signals the brain to prepare for rest. Light is the most powerful Zeitgeber, a German word meaning time giver, for the circadian system. Your brain uses light to determine what time of day it is, adjusting your internal clock accordingly. When light enters your eyes, even through closed lids, it sends signals to the brain's master clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This triggers alertness and suppresses melatonin production, preparing you to be awake. Darkness has the opposite effect. In the absence of light, the pineal gland begins producing melatonin, the hormone that promotes sleep. This is why sleeping in a completely dark room or using blackout curtains or a sleep mask can improve sleep quality. Even small amounts of light, like the glow from an alarm clock or street lights seeping through curtains, can disrupt melatonin production and interfere with sleep. Modern life exposes us to light at all hours, confusing the body's natural rhythms. The blue wavelengths emitted by screens, LED lights, and even energy-efficient bulbs are particularly effective at suppressing melatonin. This is useful during the day, helping us stay alert, but problematic in the evening when we should be winding down. Dimming lights in the evening, using warm-colored bulbs, and avoiding screens before bed can help restore the natural darkness signal that invites sleep. Sound and silence both affect sleep. The auditory environment of your bedroom can profoundly influence sleep. Sudden noises, like a dog barking or a door slamming, can startle you awake or prevent you from falling asleep. Even sounds that do not fully wake you can lighten your sleep, reducing the time spent in deep restorative stages. Consistent background noise, on the other hand, can mask disruptive sounds and create a soothing auditory environment. White noise machines, fans, or apps that generate steady ambient sounds can be helpful for people who sleep in noisy environments. The constant sound masks intermittent noises that might otherwise wake you. Some people prefer nature sounds, like rain or ocean waves, which provide gentle variation without sudden disruptions. Others find complete silence most conducive to sleep. Earplugs are a simple solution for creating a quieter sleep environment, though some people find them uncomfortable. The key is consistency. Your brain adapts to the auditory environment it expects during sleep. If you usually sleep in silence, sudden noises will be more disruptive. If you always sleep with a fan running, the absence of that sound might feel unsettling. Creating a sleep environment that minimizes disruptive noises, whether through soundproofing, white noise, or earplugs, can help protect your rest. Pre-sleep rituals signal the body that rest is coming. The hour before bed is a critical transition time, a bridge between the activity of the day and the stillness of sleep. Establishing a consistent pre-sleep routine helps signal to your body and mind that rest is approaching. These rituals do not have to be elaborate. They simply need to be calming and consistent, repeated each night, until they become automatic cues for sleep. Your routine might include dimming the lights, changing into comfortable sleepwear, brushing your teeth, and reading a book. It might involve gentle stretching, listening to soft music, or writing in a journal. The specific activities matter less than the consistency and the overall tone. The goal is to create a buffer between the stimulation of the day and the quietness of sleep, allowing your nervous system to shift from alert to relaxed. Avoiding stimulating activities in the hour before bed is equally important. This means no intense exercise, no stressful conversations, no work emails, and ideally no screens. These activities activate the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, which is the opposite of what you want when trying to sleep. By creating a consistent wind-down routine, you train your body to anticipate sleep, making the transition smoother and more natural. Caffeine lingers in the body for hours. Caffeine is the world's most widely consumed psychoactive substance, used by billions of people to promote alertness and fight fatigue. It works by blocking adenosine, a neurotransmitter that accumulates in the brain throughout the day and promotes sleepiness. By blocking adenosine receptors, caffeine temporarily prevents the feeling of tiredness, allowing you to feel more awake and alert. The effects of caffeine can last much longer than most people realize. Caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours, meaning that if you drink a cup of coffee at 4 p.m., half of the caffeine is still in your system at 10 p.m. Even small amounts can interfere with sleep onset and reduce the time spent in deep sleep. Some people are more sensitive to caffeine than others due to genetic differences in how quickly they metabolize it. To minimize caffeine's impact on sleep, it is best to avoid it in the afternoon and evening. For some sensitive individuals, even morning caffeine can linger into the night. Paying attention to how your sleep quality correlates with your caffeine intake can help you find the right cutoff time. While caffeine can be a useful tool for daytime alertness, using it late in the day borrows energy from your future self, compromising the sleep you will need to feel truly rested. Alcohol may help you fall asleep, but disrupts sleep quality. Many people use alcohol as a sleep aid, relying on its sedative effects to help them relax and drift off. Alcohol does make you feel drowsy and can shorten the time it takes to fall asleep. However, calling alcohol a sleep aid is misleading. While it may help you lose consciousness, it does not promote genuine, restorative sleep. As your body metabolizes alcohol during the night, it disrupts sleep architecture. You spend less time in REM sleep, the stage crucial for emotional processing and memory consolidation. You also experience more fragmented sleep, waking more often, though you may not remember these awakenings. The second half of the night, after the alcohol has been metabolized, is often particularly restless. Alcohol also relaxes the muscles of the throat, increasing the likelihood of snoring and worsening sleep apnea. It acts as a diuretic, meaning you may wake needing to use the bathroom. The result is that while you may fall asleep quickly, the sleep you get is lighter, less restorative, and more disrupted. If you drink alcohol, it is best to finish several hours before bed, giving your body time to metabolize it before sleep. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production. The light emitted by phones, tablets, computers, and televisions is rich in blue wavelengths. During the day, blue light is beneficial, helping you stay alert and focused. But at night, it sends the wrong signal to your brain, suppressing melatonin production and delaying sleepiness. Looking at screens before bed essentially tells your body that it is still daytime, shifting your circadian rhythm later. Studies have shown that even 2 hours of screen exposure before bed can significantly reduce melatonin levels and delay sleep onset. This effect is strongest with bright screens held close to the face, like smartphones. The impact accumulates over time, contributing to chronic sleep deprivation, especially in people who routinely use devices late into the evening. There are strategies to reduce the impact. Many devices now have night mode settings that reduce blue light emissions, shifting the screen to warmer tones in the evening. Blue light blocking glasses are another option, though their effectiveness varies. The most effective solution is simply to put screens away an hour or two before bed, replacing them with activities that do not involve bright light. Reading a physical book, listening to music, or talking with family can provide the wind-down time your body needs, without the sleep-disrupting effects of blue light. Regular exercise improves sleep quality. Physical activity is one of the most effective non-pharmacological interventions for improving sleep. Regular exercise helps you fall asleep faster, increases the amount of deep, slow-wave sleep you get, and reduces the time spent awake during the night. It also helps regulate circadian rhythms, making your sleep-wake cycle more consistent. The benefits of exercise on sleep are thought to occur through multiple pathways. Exercise increases body temperature, and the subsequent cool-down may promote sleep. It reduces anxiety and stress, both of which can interfere with sleep. It also increases the drive for sleep by promoting the accumulation of adenosine, the neurotransmitter that signals the need for rest. Regular exercisers report better sleep quality and fewer symptoms of insomnia than sedentary individuals. However, the timing of exercise matters. Vigorous exercise, too close to bedtime, can be stimulating, raising body temperature and heart rate when they should be falling. Most experts recommend finishing intense workouts at least 3 to 4 hours before bed. Gentle exercise, like stretching or yoga, can be beneficial in the evening, promoting relaxation without the stimulating effects of more vigorous activity. Finding the right balance, regular physical activity at the right time of day, can significantly enhance your sleep. Stress and anxiety are common causes of insomnia. Insomnia, the inability to fall asleep or stay asleep despite having the opportunity, is the most common sleep disorder. While there are many potential causes, stress and anxiety are among the most frequent culprits. When your mind is racing with worries or your body is tense with stress, the relaxation necessary for sleep becomes elusive. The relationship between stress and insomnia can become self-perpetuating. Stress makes it hard to sleep, and poor sleep makes it harder to cope with stress. You may find yourself lying awake worrying about not sleeping, which only makes sleep more difficult. This cycle can be frustrating and exhausting, but it can be broken. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, known as CBTI, is considered the most effective treatment. It addresses the thoughts and behaviors that perpetuate insomnia, helping you develop healthier sleep patterns. Techniques include stimulus control, keeping the bed associated only with sleep, sleep restriction, temporarily limiting time in bed to consolidate sleep, and cognitive restructuring, changing unhelpful thoughts about sleep. Relaxation techniques, like progressive muscle relaxation or deep breathing, can also help calm the body and mind. While sleeping pills may provide short-term relief, they do not address the underlying causes and can lead to dependence. Addressing stress and learning better sleep habits offers a more sustainable solution. Sleep apnea causes repeated breathing interruptions. Sleep apnea is a serious sleep disorder characterized by repeated pauses in breathing during sleep. These pauses can last from a few seconds to a minute or more, and can occur hundreds of times throughout the night. The most common type, obstructive sleep apnea, occurs when the muscles in the throat relax too much during sleep, temporarily blocking the airway. When breathing stops, oxygen levels in the blood drop, triggering the brain to briefly wake you just enough to reopen the airway. These micro-awakenings are so brief you usually do not remember them, but they fragment your sleep, preventing you from reaching the deeper, more restorative stages. People with sleep apnea often snore loudly and may gasp or choke during sleep, though they remain unaware of these episodes. The consequences of untreated sleep apnea extend beyond poor sleep. Chronic oxygen deprivation and fragmented sleep increase the risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Daytime fatigue is severe, increasing the risk of accidents. Treatment often involves using a CPAP machine, a device that delivers continuous positive airway pressure to keep the airway open. Weight loss, positional therapy, or in some cases surgery can also be effective. If you suspect you have sleep apnea, speaking with a healthcare provider is essential. This condition is treatable, and treatment can dramatically improve both sleep and overall health. Restless leg syndrome creates uncomfortable urges to move. Restless leg syndrome, or RLS, is a neurological disorder that causes uncomfortable sensations in the legs, usually in the evening or at night. People describe the feeling as crawling, tingling, aching, or pulling, and it creates an overwhelming urge to move the legs. Movement temporarily relieves the discomfort, but the sensations return once movement stops. RLS can make it extremely difficult to fall asleep. Just as you are beginning to relax, the uncomfortable sensations start, forcing you to move your legs or get up and walk around. This can delay sleep onset by hours and significantly reduce sleep quality. Some people with RLS also experience periodic limb movements during sleep, involuntary jerking or kicking that further disrupts rest. The exact cause of RLS is not fully understood, though it appears to involve dopamine dysregulation in the brain. It can run in families and is more common in people with iron deficiency, kidney disease, or pregnancy. Treatment may include iron supplementation if levels are low, medications that affect dopamine, and lifestyle changes like reducing caffeine and alcohol. Regular exercise and good sleep hygiene can also help. While RLS can be frustrating, it is manageable with the right approach, and many people find significant relief with treatment. Narcolepsy causes sudden, uncontrollable sleep attacks. Narcolepsy is a rare neurological disorder that affects the brain's ability to regulate sleep-wake cycles. People with narcolepsy experience excessive daytime sleepiness and may fall asleep suddenly and uncontrollably at inappropriate times. These sleep attacks can occur during conversations, while eating, or even while driving, posing serious safety risks. In addition to sleep attacks, many people with narcolepsy experience cataplexy, a sudden loss of muscle tone triggered by strong emotions like laughter or surprise. During a cataplectic episode, which can last from a few seconds to a couple of minutes, the person remains conscious but cannot move. Other symptoms can include sleep paralysis and vivid hallucinations when falling asleep or waking. Narcolepsy is caused by a loss of neurons that produce hypocretin, also called orexin, a neurotransmitter that helps regulate wakefulness. The reason these neurons are lost is not fully understood, though it may involve an autoimmune process. While there is no cure, narcolepsy can be managed with medications that promote wakefulness, medications that help with cataplexy, and lifestyle adjustments like scheduled naps. Living with narcolepsy presents challenges, but with proper treatment and support, people with this condition can lead full and active lives. Circadian rhythm disorders cause misalignment with day and night. Circadian rhythm disorders occur when your internal clock is out of sync with the external world. This misalignment can result from shift work, jet lag, or intrinsic disorders where the clock itself runs too fast, too slow, or at an unusual time. When your circadian rhythm does not match your schedule, you may feel sleepy when you need to be awake and alert when you should be sleeping. Delayed sleep phase disorder is common in teenagers and young adults. People with this disorder naturally fall asleep very late, often after 2 or 3 a.m., and struggle to wake early. They are sometimes called night owls. If allowed to follow their natural schedule, they sleep fine, but when forced to wake early for school or work, they are chronically sleep deprived. Advanced sleep phase disorder is the opposite. People with this condition feel sleepy in the early evening and wake very early, often before dawn. This is more common in older adults. Then there is non-24-hour sleep-wake disorder, where the internal clock runs on a cycle longer than 24 hours, causing sleep times to drift later each day. This is more common in blind individuals who cannot use light to synchronize their clocks. Treatment for circadian rhythm disorders often involves light therapy, melatonin supplements, and behavioral changes to help shift the internal clock to a more convenient time. Jet lag results from rapid travel across time zones. Jet lag is a temporary circadian rhythm disorder that occurs when you travel quickly across multiple time zones. Your body remains synchronized to your home time, but the local time at your destination is different. This mismatch leads to difficulty sleeping at night, excessive sleepiness during the day, difficulty concentrating, digestive issues, and general malaise. The severity of jet lag depends on several factors. The more time zones you cross, the worse it tends to be. Traveling east is generally harder on the body than traveling west because it requires you to fall asleep earlier than your natural rhythm, which is more difficult than staying up later. Individual differences in circadian flexibility also play a role. Some people adjust quickly, while others struggle for days or even weeks. Recovering from jet lag requires resynchronizing your internal clock to the new time zone. Exposure to bright light at the right times can help. If you have traveled east and need to shift your clock earlier, morning light is beneficial. If you have traveled west and need to delay your clock, evening light helps. Staying hydrated, avoiding excessive alcohol and caffeine, and trying to adopt the new time zone's schedule immediately can also speed adjustment. While jet lag is uncomfortable, it is temporary, and your body will eventually realign itself with the local time. Shift work disrupts the body's natural sleep-wake rhythm. Shift workers, people who work nights or rotating schedules, face unique challenges when it comes to sleep. Working when the body naturally wants to be asleep and sleeping when it wants to be awake goes against millions of years of evolution. The circadian system resists this misalignment, making it difficult to sleep during the day and stay alert at night. Even when shift workers try to sleep during the day, the sleep they get is often lighter and less restorative than nighttime sleep. Daylight, noise, and family activities can all interfere. The body continues to produce alerting signals during the day because the circadian clock has not fully adjusted. As a result, shift workers are often chronically sleep deprived, which increases the risk of accidents, health problems, and mood disturbances. Long-term shift work has been linked to a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, metabolic disorders, gastrointestinal problems, and certain cancers. The disruption to circadian rhythms affects not just sleep, but nearly every system in the body. While some people adapt better to shift work than others, most struggle to some degree. Strategies to help include keeping the sleep environment as dark and quiet as possible, using bright light during work hours to promote alertness, and maintaining as consistent a schedule as possible, even on days off. However, the best solution, when feasible, is to avoid long-term shift work altogether. Napping can restore alertness, but may interfere with nighttime sleep. Napping is a common practice around the world. and in moderation, it can be beneficial. A short nap of 20 to 30 minutes can restore alertness, improve mood, and enhance performance without causing grogginess upon waking. This kind of nap, sometimes called a power nap, allows you to rest without entering the deeper stages of sleep, making it easier to wake feeling refreshed. Longer naps, lasting an hour or more, allow you to cycle through the deeper stages of sleep, including slow-wave sleep and sometimes REM. While these longer naps can be more restorative, they also carry the risk of sleep inertia, the grogginess and disorientation that can occur when you wake from deep sleep. Long naps late in the day can also interfere with nighttime sleep by reducing sleep drive, the biological pressure to sleep that builds throughout the day. For people who get adequate nighttime sleep, napping is usually optional and a matter of personal preference. But for those who are sleep-deprived, a nap can provide much-needed rest. The key is timing. Napping earlier in the day, ideally in the early afternoon, minimizes interference with nighttime sleep. Keeping naps short or timing longer naps to complete a full sleep cycle, about 90 minutes, can help you wake feeling better. In some cultures, particularly those with warm climates, afternoon naps are a normal part of the daily rhythm, a siesta that allows rest during the hottest part of the day. Some cultures practice biphasic or polyphasic sleep. In many parts of the world, the idea of sleeping in a single 8-hour block is not universal. Some cultures practice biphasic sleep, splitting their rest into 2 periods. The most common pattern is a longer nighttime sleep combined with a shorter afternoon nap. Mediterranean and Latin American countries have long traditions of the siesta, a midday rest period that allows people to escape the heat and recharge for the afternoon and evening. Other cultures and individuals have experimented with polyphasic sleep, dividing sleep into multiple short periods throughout the day. Extreme polyphasic schedules, like sleeping only 20 minutes every 4 hours, have been tried by people seeking to maximize waking hours. However, these schedules are difficult to maintain and do not provide the same benefits as consolidated sleep. The body struggles to complete full sleep cycles, and the lack of deep sleep and REM can lead to cognitive impairment and health problems. While some flexibility in sleep patterns is natural and culturally influenced, the human body is generally designed for consolidated sleep with perhaps one additional rest period. The key is listening to your body's needs and finding a pattern that allows you to feel rested and function well. Whether that is a single long sleep, a biphasic pattern with a nap, or something in between, depends on your individual biology, lifestyle, and culture. Sleep trackers offer insights but have limitations. In recent years, wearable devices and smartphone apps that track sleep have become popular. These devices use sensors to monitor movement, heart rate, and sometimes other physiological signals to estimate when you are asleep and what stage of sleep you are in. They can provide useful insights into your sleep patterns, showing you how long you sleep each night and how often you wake. However, sleep trackers have limitations. Most consumer devices are not as accurate as medical-grade sleep studies, which use EEG to measure brainwaves directly. Wearables primarily rely on movement and heart rate, which are indirect measures. They can generally distinguish between being awake and asleep, but their ability to accurately determine sleep stages, especially REM versus deep sleep, is less reliable. Despite these limitations, sleep trackers can be valuable tools for raising awareness about your sleep habits. They can reveal patterns you might not otherwise notice, like consistently going to bed too late or waking multiple times each night. This information can motivate you to make changes. However, it is important not to become overly fixated on the data. Sleep is not a performance to be optimized. It is a natural, restorative process. If you feel rested and function well during the day, you are probably getting enough sleep, regardless of what your tracker says. Sleep studies can diagnose hidden sleep disorders. If you struggle with chronic sleep problems despite good sleep habits, a sleep study may be warranted. A polysomnography, the most comprehensive type of sleep study, is usually conducted overnight in a sleep lab. Sensors are attached to your scalp, face, chest, and legs to measure brain waves, eye movements, muscle activity, heart rate, breathing, and oxygen levels. This wealth of data allows sleep specialists to see exactly what is happening while you sleep. Sleep studies can diagnose a range of disorders, including sleep apnea, periodic limb movement disorder, narcolepsy, and unusual sleep behaviors like REM sleep behavior disorder, where people physically act out their dreams. For some disorders, like narcolepsy, a daytime sleep study called a multiple sleep latency test may also be conducted to measure how quickly you fall asleep and whether you enter REM sleep abnormally fast. While the idea of sleeping in a lab with wires attached may seem uncomfortable, most people adapt quickly and are able to sleep well enough for the study to be useful. The information gained can be life-changing, leading to accurate diagnosis and effective treatment. If your healthcare provider recommends a sleep study, it is because they believe it will provide important answers that cannot be obtained any other way. Sleeping pills provide short-term relief, but are not a long-term solution. When insomnia strikes, the temptation to reach for a sleeping pill can be strong. Prescription and over-the-counter sleep medications can help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, providing relief when you desperately need rest. However, these medications are intended for short-term use, not as a permanent solution to sleep problems. Most sleeping pills work by enhancing the effects of GABA, a neurotransmitter that reduces brain activity. While this can help you fall asleep, it does not produce the same natural sleep architecture as sleeping without medication. Some stages of sleep may be suppressed, and the overall quality of rest may be reduced. Over time, your body can develop tolerance, meaning you need higher doses to achieve the same effect. There is also the risk of dependence, where you feel unable to sleep without the medication. Over-the-counter sleep aids often contain antihistamines, which cause drowsiness as a side effect. While generally safe for occasional use, they can cause morning grogginess, dry mouth, and other side effects. They also lose effectiveness with regular use. For chronic insomnia, non-pharmacological approaches, like cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, are more effective in the long run. If you do use sleep medication, it should be under the guidance of a healthcare provider and as part of a broader plan to address the underlying causes of your sleep problems. Natural sleep aids like melatonin have their place. Melatonin supplements have become a popular natural sleep aid. Unlike sleeping pills, melatonin does not force sleep. Instead, it supplements the melatonin your body naturally produces, helping to signal that it is time to sleep. This can be especially helpful for people with circadian rhythm disorders, jet lag, or shift work, where the body's internal clock is out of sync with the desired sleep time. For occasional use, melatonin is generally considered safe, though it can cause side effects like vivid dreams, morning grogginess, and headaches in some people. The appropriate dose varies widely, from a fraction of a milligram to several milligrams, and more is not necessarily better. Taking melatonin at the right time is crucial. For sleep onset problems, it should be taken an hour or two before bedtime. For circadian rhythm issues, timing depends on whether you need to shift your clock earlier or later. Other natural sleep aids include herbs like valerian root, chamomile, and lavender, though scientific evidence for their effectiveness is mixed. Some people find them helpful, while others notice no difference. The placebo effect, the improvement that comes from believing something will help should not be discounted. If a warm cup of chamomile tea helps you relax and signals to your mind that bedtime is approaching, it can be a valuable part of your sleep routine, whether or not the herb itself has direct sedative effect. The key is finding what works for you, while being mindful that even natural substances can have side effects and interactions. Sleep is essential for learning and academic performance. Students often sacrifice sleep to study, believing that extra hours of cramming will improve their grades. But this strategy backfires. Sleep is not just a break from learning. It is when learning is consolidated and integrated into long-term memory. Without adequate sleep, the effort put into studying is largely wasted, as the information remains fragile and easily forgotten. Studies have shown that students who get sufficient sleep perform better on tests, have better problem-solving abilities, and are more creative than their sleep-deprived peers. Sleep after learning enhances memory retention, but sleep before learning is also important, preparing the brain to encode new information effectively. A well-rested brain is like a sponge, ready to absorb. A sleep-deprived brain is saturated, unable to take in anything new. Beyond academic performance, sleep affects students' emotional well-being, physical health, and social relationships. Adolescents and young adults are in a critical developmental period, and chronic sleep deprivation can have lasting effects. Schools that have shifted to later start times have seen improvements in attendance, grades, mental health, and even reductions in car accidents among teenage drivers. Prioritizing sleep is not a luxury for students. It is a necessity for success. Athletes perform better with adequate sleep. Elite athletes know that training is only part of the equation for peak performance. Recovery is equally important, and sleep is the most powerful recovery tool available. During sleep, the body repairs muscle tissue, replenishes energy stores, and releases growth hormone. These processes are essential for building strength, endurance, and skill. Studies of athletes have shown that extending sleep, aiming for 9 to 10 hours per night, can improve performance across a range of measures. Basketball players shoot more accurately, swimmers swim faster, tennis players serve better, reaction times improve, decision-making sharpens, and the risk of injury decreases. Conversely, sleep deprivation impairs performance, slowing reaction time, reducing endurance, and increasing the likelihood of mistakes. Sleep also plays a role in motor learning, the process by which we refine physical skills. Whether you are learning a new tennis serve or perfecting a dance routine, sleep helps consolidate those motor memories, making movements more automatic and fluid. For athletes at any level, from weekend warriors to Olympic competitors, prioritizing sleep is one of the most effective ways to gain a competitive edge. Creativity and problem-solving benefit from sleep. Have you ever gone to bed stuck on a problem, only to wake with the solution clear in your mind? This is not coincidence. Sleep, particularly REM sleep, facilitates creative thinking and problem-solving. During REM, the brain makes unexpected connections, linking ideas and memories in novel ways. The logical constraints that govern waking thought are relaxed, allowing for more flexible and innovative thinking. Many famous discoveries and creative breakthroughs have been attributed to sleep or dreams. The structure of the benzene molecule, the invention of the sewing machine, and musical compositions like those of Paul McCartney are all said to have emerged from dreams. While we cannot rely on dreams to solve all our problems, we can recognize that sleep supports the kind of integrative thinking that leads to insights. Even without a dramatic eureka moment, sleep helps you approach problems with a fresh perspective. What seemed insurmountable the night before often feels more manageable in the morning. This is sometimes called sleeping on it, and there is real wisdom in this advice. Sleep does not just rest the mind, it reorganizes it, allowing you to see things differently. When you are stuck, sometimes the best thing you can do is close your eyes and let your sleeping brain work on the solution. Meditation and mindfulness can improve sleep quality. Meditation and mindfulness practices have been shown to improve sleep quality, particularly for people who struggle with racing thoughts or anxiety at bedtime. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment, observing thoughts and sensations as they arise without getting caught up in them. This practice can help quiet the busy mind that often interferes with falling asleep. One of the most effective forms of meditation for sleep is body scan meditation, where you systematically bring awareness to different parts of your body, noticing sensations and consciously releasing tension. This practice not only promotes relaxation but also redirects attention away from worries and toward the physical experience of resting. Breathing exercises, where you focus on the rhythm of your breath, can also activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and digest mode. Regular meditation practice, even during the day, can have lasting effects on sleep. It reduces overall stress and anxiety, both of which are major contributors to insomnia. It also helps you develop a different relationship with wakefulness during the night. Instead of becoming anxious when you cannot sleep, you can observe the experience with curiosity and calm, which paradoxically makes it easier to drift back to sleep. Mindfulness does not force sleep. It creates the conditions in which sleep can naturally arise. Progressive muscle relaxation releases physical tension. Progressive muscle relaxation is a technique that involves systematically tensing and then relaxing different muscle groups throughout the body. It was developed in the early 20th century and remains one of the most effective relaxation methods for promoting sleep. The practice helps you become aware of physical tension you may not have noticed and teaches your body to release it. The process is simple. Starting with your feet or your face, you tense a muscle group for a few seconds, then release and notice the sensation of relaxation. You move through the body, tensing and releasing each area in turn: feet, calves, thighs, abdomen, hands, arms, shoulders, neck, face. By the time you complete the full sequence, your body is deeply relaxed and your mind has been drawn away from worries into the physical experience. This technique is particularly helpful for people who carry physical tension from stress, sitting hunched over a computer, or engaging in physically demanding work. By releasing this tension, you remove a barrier to sleep. The practice also gives your mind something to focus on, a structured task that prevents rumination. Over time, progressive muscle relaxation can help you become more attuned to your body's signals, recognizing and releasing tension before it accumulates. Breathing exercises calm the nervous system. Breathing is something we do automatically, without thought. But by bringing conscious attention to the breath and altering its rhythm, we can influence our nervous system and promote relaxation. Slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which counteracts the stress response and promotes calm. One popular technique is 4-7-8 breathing. You breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 7, then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. This extended exhale is key, as it signals the body to relax. Repeat this cycle several times, and you may notice your heart rate slowing and your body softening. Another simple technique is box breathing, where you inhale, hold, exhale, and hold again, each for an equal count, often 4 seconds. These techniques can be practiced anywhere, at any time, but they are particularly useful for winding down before sleep or calming yourself if you wake in the night. Unlike many sleep aids, breathwork has no side effects and requires no equipment. It is a tool you carry with you always, ready to use whenever you need to shift from stress to rest. Gratitude practice before bed shifts mental focus. The thoughts you carry into sleep can influence how easily you fall asleep and the quality of your rest. If you go to bed replaying stressful events or worrying about tomorrow, your mind remains in an activated state. One way to shift this pattern is to practice gratitude before bed, deliberately focusing on things you appreciate about your day or your life. Gratitude practice can be as simple as mentally listing 3 things you are grateful for as you lie in bed. They do not have to be big or dramatic. A kind word from a friend, a good meal, the feeling of the sun on your face. The act of searching for and acknowledging positive moments shifts your mental focus away from problems and toward appreciation, which promotes a calmer, more positive, emotional state. Some people find it helpful to keep a gratitude journal, writing down a few things each evening. The act of writing can deepen the practice and create a record you can look back on during difficult times. Whether you write or simply reflect, cultivating gratitude helps you end the day on a positive note, setting the stage for peaceful rest. This practice does not deny or ignore challenges. It simply makes space for beauty and goodness alongside them, creating balance. Worry journals can clear the mind before sleep. For people whose sleep is disrupted by racing thoughts and worries, a worry journal can be a helpful tool. The idea is simple. Before bed, take a few minutes to write down everything on your mind. Concerns about work, tasks you need to complete, conflicts with others, anything that might keep you awake. By transferring these thoughts to paper, you externalize them, freeing your mind from the burden of holding on to them. This practice is not about solving problems or finding answers. It is about acknowledgement and release. You can even make a plan for when you will address each concern. For example, I will call the doctor on Monday, or I will talk to my partner about this tomorrow. Knowing that you have a plan and that the thought is captured on paper can help you let it go for the night. Some people find it helpful to keep the journal by the bedside, so if a worry arises after lights out, they can quickly jot it down and return to rest. The act of writing signals to your brain that the thought has been dealt with, at least for now. Over time, this practice can help you develop healthier boundaries between waking concerns and sleep time, training your mind to know that night is for rest, not problem solving. Limiting fluids before bed reduces nighttime waking. Waking in the night to use the bathroom, a phenomenon called nocturia, is common and can disrupt sleep quality. While occasional nighttime bathroom trips are normal, frequent waking to urinate can fragment sleep and leave you feeling unrefreshed. One simple strategy to reduce nocturia is to limit fluid intake in the hour or 2 before bed. This does not mean becoming dehydrated. It simply means front-loading your hydration earlier in the day rather than drinking large amounts close to bedtime. If you are thirsty before bed, a few sips of water are fine, but avoid drinking full glasses of water or other beverages. Caffeine and alcohol both increase urine production, so avoiding them in the evening helps as well. For some people, nocturia is related to medical conditions like prostate enlargement, diabetes, or heart problems, in which case, addressing the underlying condition is important. But for many, simple behavioral changes can make a significant difference. Using the bathroom right before bed, limiting evening fluids, and elevating your legs for a while before bed to help fluid redistribute can all help reduce nighttime waking and protect your sleep. Cool showers or baths can trigger sleepiness. While the idea of a warm bath before bed is often associated with relaxation, the temperature dynamics are what matter most. A warm bath or shower raises your core body temperature temporarily. When you step out and your body begins to cool, this rapid temperature drop can trigger sleepiness, mimicking the natural decline in body temperature that occurs at sleep onset. The ideal timing is to bathe about an hour or two before bed. This gives your body time to go through the warming and cooling cycle, with the cool-down phase coinciding with your intended sleep time. The water does not need to be extremely hot. Comfortably warm is sufficient. Adding relaxing scents like lavender can enhance the experience, though the temperature effect is the key mechanism. If a bath or shower before bed is not practical, other methods of cooling can help. Keeping your bedroom cool, using breathable bedding, or even placing a cool cloth on your forehead can support the body's natural temperature regulation. The goal is to facilitate the drop in core temperature that invites sleep, working with your biology rather than against it. Reading in bed may help or hinder sleep. Reading before bed is a common pre-sleep activity, and for many people, it is an effective way to wind down. A good book can distract the mind from worries, engage the imagination, and signal that it is time to rest. The key is choosing the right material and the right conditions. Reading something calming or mildly interesting is ideal, something engaging enough to hold your attention, but not so thrilling that it keeps you awake. The type of reading matters. Physical books or e-readers with warm, non-backlit screens are better choices than tablets or phones, which emit blue light and can suppress melatonin. The content matters too. Avoid reading work-related material or anything too stimulating or distressing. The goal is to ease into sleepiness, not to activate your mind. However, sleep experts generally recommend not reading in bed if you struggle with insomnia. This is part of stimulus control, the practice of associating your bed only with sleep. If you read, watch television, or work in bed, your brain begins to associate the bed with wakefulness, which can make it harder to fall asleep. For people with insomnia, reserving the bed exclusively for sleep and intimacy helps retrain the brain. For good sleepers, reading in bed is usually fine, a pleasant ritual that supports rest. The bedroom environment should support rest. Creating a sleep-friendly bedroom goes beyond temperature and darkness. The overall environment should be a sanctuary, a place that invites rest. This means keeping the bedroom clean, uncluttered, and reserved primarily for sleep. Clutter creates visual noise that can subtly increase stress, while a tidy space promotes calm. The bed itself should be comfortable, with a supportive mattress and pillows suited to your sleeping position. Bedding should be clean and pleasant, made from breathable fabrics that regulate temperature well. Scent can also play a role. Lavender, chamomile, and sandalwood are known for their calming properties, and some people find that using these scents in the bedroom through essential oils or sachets promotes relaxation. Minimizing electronic devices in the bedroom is another important consideration. Phones, computers, and televisions all emit light and provide stimulation, both of which interfere with sleep. If you must have a phone in the room for an alarm, place it across the room or face down to avoid the temptation to check it during the night. Your bedroom should feel different from the rest of your home, a dedicated space where the world's demands are left at the door and rest takes priority. Consistency matters more than perfection. One of the most important principles of good sleep is consistency. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends, helps stabilize your circadian rhythm. This regularity makes it easier to fall asleep at night and wake naturally in the morning. Your body comes to expect sleep at a certain time, and the biological processes that support sleep align with that expectation. This does not mean you must be rigid. Life happens, and occasionally staying up late or sleeping in is fine, but large swings in sleep timing, like staying up until 3 a.m. on weekends and waking at 6 a.m., On weekdays, create a form of jet lag called social jet lag. Your body is constantly trying to adjust to shifting schedules, and it never fully adapts to either one. Consistency also applies to your pre-sleep routine, your sleep environment, and your daytime habits. The more regular your patterns, the more smoothly your sleep system functions. This does not mean perfection. Missing your target bedtime by an hour or having a restless night now and then does not ruin everything. But overall, consistency is the foundation of healthy sleep, providing the structure within which rest can flourish. Sleep deprivation has cumulative effects over time. Missing a single night of sleep is unpleasant, but the body can recover relatively quickly with a good night or two of rest. However, chronic sleep deprivation, consistently getting less sleep than you need, has cumulative effects that build over weeks, months, and years. This accumulated deficit is called sleep debt, and it cannot be fully repaid with a single long sleep, or even a weekend of sleeping in. Chronic sleep debt affects every aspect of health and functioning. Cognitively, you become slower, less attentive, and less creative. Emotionally, you become more reactive, irritable, and prone to mood disturbances. Physically, your immune system weakens, your metabolism becomes dysregulated, and your risk of chronic diseases increases. These effects compound over time, making the consequences of sleep deprivation far more serious than just feeling tired. The good news is that with consistent, adequate sleep, the body can recover. It may take weeks or even months to fully repay a large sleep debt, but the investment is worth it. Prioritizing sleep is not about optimizing performance or achieving some ideal. It is about caring for your health and well-being in one of the most fundamental ways possible. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity. Some medications interfere with sleep architecture. Many common medications can affect sleep, either making it harder to fall asleep, causing nighttime waking, or altering sleep architecture in ways that reduce sleep quality. Stimulants, including medications for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, can interfere with falling asleep if taken too late in the day. Some antidepressants suppress REM sleep, while others can cause drowsiness and increase sleep duration. Beta blockers, commonly used for high blood pressure and heart conditions, can cause insomnia and vivid nightmares in some people. Corticosteroids often cause increased alertness and difficulty sleeping. Even over-the-counter medications like decongestants and some pain relievers contain ingredients that can be stimulating. If you have started a new medication and noticed changes in your sleep, it is worth discussing with your healthcare provider. In some cases, changing the timing of the medication or switching to a different drug can resolve the sleep issue. In other cases, the benefits of the medication outweigh the sleep side effects, and other strategies can be used to support sleep. The key is awareness. If your sleep has changed and you are taking medications, they may be connected. Never stop or adjust medications without consulting your healthcare provider. But do raise sleep concerns so they can be addressed as part of your overall care. Chronic pain and sleep have a bi-directional relationship. Chronic pain and sleep problems often go hand in hand, each making the other worse. Pain can make it difficult to find a comfortable sleeping position, causing you to toss and turn or wake frequently. The physical discomfort activates the nervous system, making it harder to relax into sleep. At the same time, poor sleep lowers your pain threshold, making pain feel more intense and harder to tolerate. This bidirectional relationship can create a vicious cycle. Pain disrupts sleep, and poor sleep amplifies pain. Over time, this cycle can lead to both worsening pain and chronic sleep deprivation. Breaking the cycle requires addressing both issues simultaneously. Pain management strategies, whether through medication, physical therapy, or other interventions can improve sleep. Conversely, improving sleep can make pain more manageable. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia can be adapted for people with chronic pain, helping them develop strategies to cope with discomfort while still prioritizing sleep. Relaxation techniques, mindfulness, and gentle movement practices like yoga or Tai Chi can also help. While chronic pain presents real challenges to sleep, improvement is possible with the right support and strategies. Addressing sleep can be an important part of overall pain management, not just an afterthought. Mental health and sleep are deeply intertwined. Sleep disturbances are a hallmark of many mental health conditions. Depression often brings insomnia or hypersomnia, sleeping too much. Anxiety can cause racing thoughts that make falling asleep difficult, as well as nighttime waking and nightmares. Bipolar disorder involves disrupted sleep patterns, with reduced sleep during manic phases and increased sleep during depressive phases. Post-traumatic stress disorder commonly includes nightmares and hypervigilance that fragment sleep. The relationship between sleep and mental health is bidirectional. Mental health conditions disrupt sleep, but poor sleep can also trigger or worsen mental health symptoms. Sleep deprivation increases emotional reactivity, reduces resilience to stress, and can even trigger episodes in people with mood disorders. For some people, improving sleep is a crucial part of managing their mental health. Treatment for mental health conditions often includes addressing sleep. Therapy, medication, lifestyle changes, and sleep hygiene education can all play a role. In some cases, treating the underlying mental health condition improves sleep naturally. In others, sleep-specific interventions are needed. Recognizing the deep connection between mind and sleep helps both patients and providers take a more holistic approach to well-being, understanding that rest is not separate from mental health, but foundational to it. Pregnancy alters sleep in multiple ways. Pregnancy brings profound changes to a woman's body, many of which affect sleep. In the first trimester, rising levels of progesterone often cause increased sleepiness and fatigue, yet many women struggle to sleep well due to nausea, frequent urination, and anxiety about the pregnancy. As the pregnancy progresses, physical discomfort increases, making it harder to find comfortable sleeping positions. In the third trimester, the growing belly, back pain, leg cramps, and the need to urinate frequently disrupt sleep significantly. Many pregnant women also experience restless leg syndrome, heartburn, and shortness of breath. The baby's movements can wake them. Anxiety about labor and the upcoming life change can keep the mind active at night. Despite needing more rest, many pregnant women get less sleep than before pregnancy. After birth, sleep remains fragmented as newborns wake every few hours to feed. New parents often experience severe sleep deprivation in the first months, which can contribute to postpartum mood disorders. While this phase is temporary, it is demanding. Supporting new parents means recognizing the importance of sleep and helping them find ways to rest, whether through shared nighttime duties, naps, or accepting help from family and friends. Sleep deprivation during pregnancy and postpartum is common, but it is not trivial, and it deserves attention and support. Menopause often brings new sleep challenges. As women transition through menopause, sleep disturbances become increasingly common. Declining estrogen and progesterone levels affect sleep regulation, often leading to difficulty falling asleep, frequent nighttime waking, and early morning waking. Hot flashes and night sweats can jolt women awake multiple times a night, leaving them drenched in sweat and struggling to get back to sleep. The sleep fragmentation that occurs during menopause can have wide-ranging effects. Mood disturbances, cognitive difficulties, and fatigue are common. The relationship between sleep disruption and mood is particularly strong during menopause, with poor sleep contributing to irritability, anxiety, and depression. Some women also develop sleep disorders like sleep apnea for the first time during this period. Hormone replacement therapy can help some women by reducing hot flashes and stabilizing sleep, though it is not appropriate for everyone. Non-hormonal approaches include cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, keeping the bedroom cool, using moisture-wicking bedding, and practicing relaxation techniques. Regular exercise and maintaining good sleep hygiene are also important. Menopause is a natural transition, and while it can be challenging, many women find that with the right support and strategies, their sleep improves over time. Sleep changes as the brain ages. As we age, the brain undergoes changes that affect sleep. The production of melatonin decreases. The circadian rhythm may shift earlier, and the sleep-promoting areas of the brain become less robust. The result is that older adults often find it harder to fall asleep, wake more frequently during the night, and wake earlier in the morning than they would like. The architecture of sleep also changes. Older adults spend less time in the deep, slow-wave sleep that is so restorative. They spend more time in the lighter stages, which are more easily disrupted. This means that even if total sleep time is similar, the quality of sleep may be reduced. Older adults may feel less refreshed upon waking, even after what seems like a full night's sleep. These changes are part of normal aging, but they are not insurmountable. Maintaining good sleep habits, staying physically active, managing stress, and addressing medical conditions that affect sleep can all help. Older adults should not resign themselves to poor sleep as inevitable. While the sleep system becomes more fragile with age, it still responds to care and attention. Quality rest remains possible and important throughout life. Sleep disorders are more common than many people realize. Sleep disorders affect a significant portion of the population, yet many cases go undiagnosed and untreated. It is estimated that tens of millions of people suffer from chronic sleep disorders, with insomnia being the most common. Sleep apnea affects millions more, many of whom are unaware they have it. Restless leg syndrome, narcolepsy, circadian rhythm disorders, and parasomnias like sleepwalking all affect substantial numbers of people. The consequences of untreated sleep disorders extend far beyond tiredness. They increase the risk of accidents, impair work and school performance, strain relationships, and contribute to both physical and mental health problems. Yet because sleep problems are often dismissed as minor or seen as a normal part of busy modern life, people do not always seek help. If you consistently struggle to sleep despite practicing good sleep hygiene, if you snore loudly or gasp during sleep, if you experience excessive daytime sleepiness, or if your bed partner reports unusual behaviors during your sleep, it is worth talking to a healthcare provider. Sleep disorders are real medical conditions, and they are treatable. Getting an accurate diagnosis and appropriate treatment can dramatically improve quality of life. Sleep is too important to neglect, and no one should have to suffer through years of poor sleep when help is available. Sleep research continues to reveal new insights. Despite decades of study, sleep remains one of the great mysteries of neuroscience. Researchers continue to uncover new insights into what happens during sleep and why it is so essential. Recent discoveries, like the glymphatic system that clears waste from the brain during sleep, have transformed our understanding of sleep's biological functions. Studies on sleep and the immune system, sleep and emotional regulation, and sleep and neuroplasticity continue to reveal the depth of sleep's influence on health. Emerging research is exploring the links between sleep and diseases like Alzheimer's, the role of sleep in regulating the gut microbiome, and how sleep affects gene expression. Scientists are also investigating individual differences in sleep needs and patterns, recognizing that there is no single ideal way to sleep. Some people are natural short sleepers, functioning well on less sleep than average, while others need more. Understanding these variations can help us move away from one-size-fits-all recommendations. As technology advances, new tools for studying sleep emerge. Wearable devices, brain imaging, and molecular biology techniques are all contributing to a more nuanced understanding of sleep. While we still do not have all the answers, each discovery brings us closer to fully understanding this fundamental aspect of life. The more we learn, the more we appreciate how central sleep is to everything we are and everything we do. Cultural attitudes towards sleep vary widely. Different cultures have different attitudes towards sleep, and these cultural norms shape how people prioritize and experience rest. In some cultures, particularly in Mediterranean and Latin American countries, taking a midday nap is a normal and valued part of the daily rhythm. Work and school schedules may accommodate this, allowing people to rest during the hottest part of the day and extend their evening activities. In other cultures, particularly in industrialized Western societies, sleep is often undervalued. There is a cultural emphasis on productivity, with sleep seen as something to be minimized in order to maximize waking hours. Phrases like, "I will sleep when I am dead," or "burning the midnight oil," reflect a mindset that treats sleep as optional or even a sign of laziness. This attitude contributes to widespread sleep deprivation and its associated health consequences. Indigenous cultures around the world have their own sleep traditions, often more closely aligned with natural light cycles. In some communities, segmented sleep or flexible sleep timing is the norm. Recognizing the cultural context of sleep can help us understand that our current practices are not universal or inevitable. They are shaped by values, economics, and social structures. By examining these cultural attitudes, we can question whether they serve us well and consider alternatives that might better support health and well-being. Sleep is a form of self-care. In a world that often glorifies busyness and productivity, prioritizing sleep can feel like an indulgence. But sleep is not a luxury or a reward for a hard day's work. It is a fundamental pillar of health, as essential as nutritious food, clean water, and physical activity. Choosing to sleep well is an act of self-care, a way of honoring your body's needs and investing in your future health. Self-care is sometimes misunderstood as selfish, but this could not be further from the truth when it comes to sleep. When you are well rested, you are more patient, more present, and more capable in all your roles, whether as a parent, partner, friend, or professional. You make better decisions, manage stress more effectively, and approach challenges with greater resilience. By caring for your own sleep, you become better able to care for others. Prioritizing sleep may require setting boundaries, saying no to commitments that would keep you up too late, or letting go of the pressure to do everything. It may mean accepting that some tasks will wait until tomorrow. These are not signs of weakness or failure. They are signs of wisdom, an understanding that rest is not the opposite of productivity, but its foundation. Sleep is how you sustain yourself for the long term, ensuring that you can show up fully for the life you want to live. The mystery of why we dream persists. Despite all we have learned about sleep, one of its most intriguing aspects remains largely mysterious: why we dream. Dreams can be vivid and bizarre, filled with impossible scenarios and intense emotions. They can be mundane, replaying the day's events, or profound, seeming to carry deep meaning. We have theories about the purpose of dreaming, but no definitive answers. Some researchers believe dreams are the brain's way of processing emotions, allowing us to work through feelings in a safe, imaginary space. Others suggest they serve a memory consolidation function, integrating new information with existing knowledge. Still others propose that dreams are simply random neural activity, the brain's attempt to make sense of signals with no inherent meaning. It is possible that all of these theories contain some truth, that dreams serve multiple purposes. The mystery of dreams has inspired art, literature, religion, and philosophy throughout human history. Dreams feel meaningful, even when we cannot articulate that meaning. They connect us to parts of ourselves we may not access while awake. Whether or not we ever fully understand why we dream, the experience of dreaming is part of what makes us human. It reminds us that there is more to consciousness than waking awareness, more to the mind than logic and reason. Sleep is a shared human experience. No matter who you are or where you live, you sleep. Every person who has ever existed has known the feeling of heavy eyelids, the pull toward rest, the surrender into unconsciousness. Sleep is one of the few truly universal human experiences, crossing all boundaries of culture, class, and time. It is something we all need, something we all do, something that connects us to every other person and to our ancient ancestors. This universality is profound. When you lie down to sleep tonight, you are participating in a ritual as old as humanity itself. You are following the same rhythms that guided people tens of thousands of years ago, responding to the same biological imperatives. In sleep, we are all equal. The king and the beggar, the famous and the unknown, all must rest. Sleep humbles us, reminding us of our shared biology, our common needs. And yet, sleep is also deeply personal. Your dreams are yours alone. The way you experience rest, the thoughts that accompany you into darkness, the quality of your sleep, these are intimate aspects of your inner life. Sleep is both universal and unique, a paradox that reflects the nature of human existence itself. We are all connected by our shared need for rest, yet each of us rests in our own way, in our own time, in our own inner world. Respecting sleep means respecting life. To respect sleep is to respect life itself. Sleep is not downtime or wasted hours. It is an active, essential process that sustains every system in your body and mind. When you honor your need for sleep, when you create the conditions that support it, when you let go and allow yourself to rest, you are participating in the fundamental rhythm that makes life possible. Modern life often asks us to override our biological needs, to push through fatigue, to sacrifice rest for productivity. But this comes at a cost. We cannot cheat our biology indefinitely. The body keeps score, and sleep deprivation always extracts its price. Respecting sleep means acknowledging these limits, accepting that we are not machines that can run continuously without maintenance. It also means extending grace to yourself when sleep is difficult, recognizing that many factors influence rest, not all of them within your control. Some nights will be harder than others. Some periods of life will be more challenging for sleep. This is normal. What matters is the overall pattern, the consistent effort to prioritize and protect your rest. Sleep is a practice, not a performance. It is something you return to, again and again, night after night, throughout your life. As night falls, the body prepares. As we come toward the end of our journey through the science and wonder of sleep, it is worth pausing to appreciate the elegance of how your body prepares for rest. As evening approaches and darkness falls, a cascade of biological processes begins. Your core temperature starts its slow descent. Melatonin begins to flow, whispering to your cells that night has come. Your brain waves shift, slowing from the rapid patterns of wakefulness to the gentler rhythms of drowsiness. You may not notice these changes consciously, but they are happening, quietly orchestrating your transition from day to night. Your muscles soften, your breathing deepens. Your thoughts begin to drift, losing their sharp edges, becoming more fluid and less directed. This is your body's wisdom at work, guiding you toward the rest you need, without requiring any effort on your part. All you must do is allow it. Let go of the day. Release your grip on consciousness. Trust that sleep will come, as it has come every night of your life, as it will come again tomorrow night and every night after. You do not have to make it happen. You only have to let it happen, to surrender to the natural rhythm that has sustained human life since the beginning. Sleep is a return home. In a way, sleep is a kind of homecoming. Throughout the day, you move through the world, responding to demands, navigating challenges, presenting yourself to others. But in sleep, you return to yourself. You shed the roles you play, the masks you wear, the efforts you make to be seen and understood. In the privacy of sleep, there is no performance, no audience, no expectation. There is only you, resting, dreaming, being. This daily return to yourself, this nightly journey inward, is essential. It is where you process what you have experienced, where you integrate new knowledge with old, where you heal from the day's small and large wounds. Sleep is where you remember who you are, beneath all the doing, beneath all the striving. It is where you reconnect with the fundamental you, the self that exists independent of achievement or appearance. When you close your eyes and let sleep take you, you are not leaving the world behind, though it may feel that way. You are diving deeper into yourself, into the restorative darkness where your mind and body can do the invisible work of renewal. You are going home to yourself, to the quiet place where rest and healing happen, where dreams weave themselves from the threads of your life. The invitation of sleep is always there. Every night, no matter what has happened during the day, sleep extends the same invitation. Come, rest, let go, be renewed. It does not matter if you have earned it or if you have accomplished enough. Sleep does not judge. It does not require you to be worthy. It is simply there, waiting patiently, ready to receive you when you are ready to receive it. This constancy is a gift. In a world of change and uncertainty, sleep remains reliable. No matter what challenges you face, no matter how overwhelming the day has been, night will come, and with it, the opportunity to rest. This daily rhythm, this turning of the earth that brings darkness and invites sleep, is one of the few certainties we can count on. It is a built-in reset button, a chance to begin again, written into the very structure of existence. Accepting sleep's invitation means trusting in this rhythm, believing that rest will restore you, that tomorrow you will wake with renewed energy and fresh perspective. It means letting go of the belief that you must do everything, solve everything, be everything, all the time. Sleep reminds you that you are human, subject to the same natural laws as every other living being, and that this is not a weakness, but a truth to be honored as you drift towards sleep now. And so, dear listener, as we come to the close of this exploration of sleep, I invite you to notice where you are right now. Perhaps you are lying in bed, warm and comfortable, your body already growing heavy with approaching sleep. Perhaps your eyelids are beginning to droop, your breathing slowing, your thoughts becoming softer and less distinct. If you are still awake, there is no need to force sleep or to worry about falling asleep. Simply allow yourself to rest here, to let these words wash over you like gentle waves. Each breath you take is an opportunity to release a little more tension, to sink a little deeper into relaxation. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do. This time is yours, dedicated entirely to rest. Imagine your body becoming heavier, as though you are gently sinking into the surface beneath you. Feel the support of the mattress, the softness of the pillow, the warmth of the blankets around you. Let your muscles release their grip, one by one, from your toes to your calves, from your thighs to your hips, from your belly to your chest, from your shoulders to your arms, from your neck to your face. Each part of you is given permission to rest completely. Sleep will come in its own time. Do not chase sleep or try to capture it. Simply rest here, breathing slowly, allowing whatever happens to happen. If sleep comes, welcome it. If it does not come yet, that is fine too. There is no failure in being awake. Simply being here, resting, allowing your body and mind to be still, this is enough. This is valuable. This is its own form of restoration. Trust that your body knows what it needs. Trust that the biological wisdom that has guided sleep for millions of years is still guiding you now. You do not have to control it or make it happen. You only have to let go, to stop efforting, to allow the natural processes to unfold. Sleep will come when it is ready, as gently and naturally as night follows day. And when it does come, you will slip away so quietly you will not even notice the moment it happens. One moment you will be here, aware, listening. The next, you will be gone, carried into the soft darkness of sleep, into the realm of dreams and rest and renewal. Your body will continue its work throughout the night, repairing, restoring, preparing you for tomorrow. All of this will happen without your conscious involvement, a testament to the body's incredible wisdom. Good night, and may your sleep be deep and peaceful. So rest now, dear listener. Let these final words be a soft landing, a gentle easing into the night. You have learned about sleep, explored its mysteries, understood its importance. Now it is time to simply experience it, to let yourself be carried on the tide of your own natural rhythms into the deep waters of rest. May your sleep be peaceful and restorative. May your dreams, if they come, be gentle and kind. May you wake tomorrow feeling renewed, refreshed, ready to meet the day. And may you always remember that sleep is not something to fight for or worry about, but a natural gift offered to you every night, a sanctuary waiting to welcome you home. Close your eyes now, if you have not already. Feel the quiet darkness behind your eyelids. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your breath, and simply let go. Let go of this day, of all your concerns, of the need to be awake or aware or anything at all. Drift now, softly, gently, into sleep, into rest, into peace. Good night.